Welcome to So Many Receipts. I'm Flo Michelle.
And I'm Shelley Seddon.
And we are two entertainment journos based in Sydney, Australia, who love to analyse and talk about all things reality, TV and pop culture.
Each week on Receipt Roundup, we bring you our take on what's trending.
This week on the show, a Real Housewives of Orange County hookup scandal unmasked, Julia, the bombshell dropper on the Real Housewives of Miami, the juicy secrets of celebrity sex tapes, and a housewife finally talks perimenopause on London.
So kicking off with a Real Housewives of Orange County mystery that just happens to be 15 years old. So who was the guy that Tamra allegedly banged in a recording studio while she was with Eddie? We've got the backstory.
So first we had a revival of Naked Wasted that was 16 years old, and now this. You know, it's actually a great idea because why bother creating fresh drama when you can just recycle old storylines everyone forgot about? Half the viewers have probably never even heard of this stuff anyway.
I am one of those viewers. I have to go look this up because I don't know the history.
Yeah.
But much like Miami this season, we now have the Orange County ladies splitting up on group trips. Not only are they splitting up, they're taking completely separate road trips.
Yeah.
I think Heather's trip actually looks fun. They have this delicious fancy dinner. They go dancing at the Abbey, which is actually a gay bar. So I'm not sure why Emily was riding that cowboy.
And they were pretty drunk, so drunk that they even wanted to do karaoke.
Yes. So this is when Gretchen brings up the fact that she's recorded not one song, but 4 songs.
And, you know, I looked her up on Spotify. She has one song on there. It's a slow ballad called Nothing Without You from 2009. We actually have a quick grab of it now.
I'm lost without a candle in the dark. I always long for you. You're the one that saved me. And I know when we're together, there's nothing.
Ooh, so gooey. And I presume auto-tuned.
Definitely.
She also brings up the fact that Tamra tried to record a song, but it was really bad.
So it comes out that the reason Tamra was in a recording studio in the first place was because she had an affair with the guy from Bleep. So, of course, we had to do some digging and get the full story. Emily said it was someone that Gen X would know, and it seems like it's someone in a group. So allegedly, it's someone called Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees.
Yeah, and so 98 Degrees was a US boy band, and it was most famous for being the band fronted by lead singer Nick Lachey. So he was the ex-husband of Jessica Simpson.
So I was never a 98 Degrees fan, so this does nothing for me. I have no reaction. Give me Bret Michaels or John Bon Jovi or Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield. Some people don't even know who that is out there.
Australian.
I don't remember any 98 Degrees song of theirs,
either.
but I looked up old pictures of Jeff. He's actually pretty cute back then. So this is all about the tea old article that explains everything a bit more. So the woman who owned the recording studio claims the alleged incident occurred in 2010 when Tamra recorded a jingle for No Hate, which was an anti-discrimination campaign. And at the time, Jeff would have been 37 and Tamra would have been about 40.
So apparently
43, actually. Yeah.
So, well, this guy Jeff was apparently brought in to assist with Tamra's song, and they were unaware her mic was still live. And a source says there was a lot
Mic
of
drop.
heavy flirting.
Yeah.
She was on her knees, then gyrating on his lap. So it's not really clear whether something happened or not.
Yeah, but then the studio owner says her husband, a longtime workmate of Jeff's, also confirmed the hookup. Jeff allegedly brushed it off as taking one for the team.
Ouch.
To ensure Tamra completed the project. I mean, yikes. And mercy shag.
Yes, for
Maybe,
sure.
sort of, if it happened. So at the time, Tamra was already in a relationship with Eddie while Jeff married his first wife just a month later. Tamra denied it ever happened, but this studio woman claims at the same time Tamra actively sought to ruin the couple's reputation because she didn't want Bravo turning into a storyline, which I can totally see Tamra doing, right? And anyway, we have another grab. This one's of Tamra's un-auto-tuned singing on that song. Take a listen.
Celebrate no hate. All the love is great.
Just hold it up.
Celebrate no hate. All the love is.
Oh, that was just as bad as I fully expected it to be.
Wow.
Why do they all try to sing? Like, I've seen recent posts of Lisa Barlow singing in a nightclub as well, and they are unlistenable.
Wow. Well, meanwhile,
They're not singers. just fight, ladies.
stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Tamra, Shannon, Jen, and Gina go to Temecula, which is kind of underwhelming wine country, I have to say, just an hour south of the OC. And Katie is nowhere to be seen. Is she in the boot of one of the cars?
Yeah, it's like she no longer even exists.
Yeah.
So on to the biatches at Miami. And earlier this week, we put up a grab from our last podcast on TikTok, wondering what this reunion bombshell is going to be. And we got a huge response to this TikTok, 61,000 views over the last 4 days and tons of comments. I think I might know what's in this box that Adriana gives Julia in the Real Housewives of Miami reunion trailer.
Really? What do you think it is?
Is it the ring that Julia proposed to Adriana with back in season 4, episode 8, 4 years ago, when she said to Adriana, will you be my best friend forever and ever? Has Adriana now given this ring back? Because it's now been confirmed that Julia is the person who drops the bombshell. And the current theory, which was also a hot topic in the thread of our TikTok, our last one, was that Julia is going to reveal that she and Adriana maybe had some kind of romantic relationship. And maybe she's revealing that to hurt Adriana because they're now not friends anymore.
I think that's a really good guess. Yeah. So, well, in this new trailer for the reunion, Julia says, Andy, you don't know about this, but Adriana does. And so then she apparently reveals something about Adriana, who storms off the stage, and everyone is left gasping. So I'm wondering if she says Adriana wanted to have some kind of sexual relationship with her and Julia rejected her.
Yeah, maybe.
So
is this it?
Yeah, maybe. But
we keep saying maybe.
Well, there are also several things in this episode that gave me the ick. And one of them was Julia and Martina discussing the adoption. Julia says her adult daughters didn't want to know about the process and then got upset when it happened without them. But when Julia tries to discuss it with Martina, she was just so cold and dismissive. I thought the whole situation felt really awkward.
It was. And there is also speculation that Julia is one of the people who's not coming back next season and it was her choice. If that's the case, I think perhaps Martina might have given her an ultimatum to leave the show and stop airing their private lives, because I can't imagine if Julia leaves, it would be her idea to leave.
No, I always thought Julia was so desperate to be on the show.
Yeah,
and
me
so
too.
Now the fans have turned against her. Plus, Andy wasn't impressed with Martina saying that surrogacy was just wrong because he has 2 children via a surrogate. And Julia even said on Watch What Happens Live, she didn't agree with Martina's views on surrogacy. I think that Julia is not in Andy's good books. And later down the track, you know, she got fired or maybe might get fired. I don't know. But I don't think she's going to announce on the couch that she's leaving. I don't think that's part of the bombshell. And if she does leave the show, I don't think it's going to be her choice.
Right. It's a fair point. Meanwhile, at Adriana's Art Basel party.
So there is major drama because Larsa is investigating who sabotaged Adriana's birthday cake. So only to find out it was Kiki, and Kiki thought she was being sweet with this math riddle age joke.
Which we had to consult a calculator for.
Exactly. Instead, it just sparks this huge fight. So Adriana dredges up past drama about using the word ratchet, which is what she called Kiki at a dinner party a couple episodes back. Then she bizarrely claims Kiki called her a racist.
I didn't understand the logic. I couldn't follow it.
And so she even drags her black friend into the mix to defend her.
Yeah.
But Kiki never said she was a racist.
No.
So Kiki is just fed up with the whole thing, ends up storming out, and she just hops into this random van rather than staying at the party. And honestly, I think Adriana is her worst enemy.
Yeah, so I never thought I'd have to consult a dictionary while watching Miami, but there I was looking up the word ratchet. So it turns out it's slang for something or someone trashy, low class, and it likely derives from the word wretched. And Adriana then tries to explain that that's the word she meant all along, and she even spells out wretched, but she actually gets it wrong. She actually leaves out an E. She forgot about the E at the end.
Well, I know ratchet as being another word for like ghetto. It's very derogatory, especially to a woman of color. So that's why Kiki and Gertie freaked out and had such a strong reaction. And I also have to say, in this episode, Alexia was so annoying. She's visiting Larsa's new home. I wonder if Larsa bought it with her OnlyFans foot pig fortune. And so the conversation turns to Alexia's relationship with Todd because the divorce deadline's coming up. And Alexia says she's waiting for Todd to decide what happens next. Why is she giving this man so much power?
Oh, I know.
And their divorce was actually finalized in March. So I thought it was interesting that Andy didn't ask Alexia what the status of her relationship with Todd was when she appeared on Watch What Happens Live last week.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I hate how she keeps mentioning that they occasionally sleep sleep together.
Yes, TMI.
Don't brag about this. Like, I really hope that this is over.
Exactly. Yeah. This next segment is brought to you by Pop Choir Australia's new single, Stronger Than Blood, raising awareness for Parkinson's disease.
All funds will go towards Shake It Up Australia for their research into the disease. More than 200,000 Australians and 10 million people worldwide are afflicted with Parkinson's.
Pop Choir is Australia's largest community choir with 1,000 members based in Melbourne across 4 locations. The group has had more than 100 million views for their viral rehearsal videos on TikTok.
And we have a snippet of the song here.
Stronger than blood. Stronger than blood.
Head to www.popchoir.com.au to check out the single and donate now.
So on to The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and Lisa Barlow has officially rejoined the group, and it is a very different Lisa we see this season, and not just because of her new eye job.
Which looked terrible in one of the confessionals. Her left eye actually looked quite droopy. I hope it's improved.
Yeah.
If that's why it was droopy.
I just think Lisa seems very fragile.
Yeah.
Normally she comes in guns blazing, but when Heather told her over lunch that everyone was talking about her on the camping trip, Lisa broke down. And finding out that Angie and Meredith didn't defend her, it left her in tears instead of rage.
Yeah.
And I just want to back up because before the chaos, a quick word about Robert Jr. and Mary. I honestly think the kids should be off camera. I think, Robert Jr. may be legal age, but he just comes across as immature, and he's actually seemed a bit high during the discussion with Mary.
Did he say he'd taken something?
I don't know. He seemed like Xanaxed out or something, but he was also recently arrested. He was charged with trespassing, assault, failure to stop for police, and multiple violations of a court order. And he said he's still doing drugs.
Yeah.
And with a $10,000 bond and serious issues, I just feel like TV exposure isn't helping. He needs real support, not more camera time.
I know. Every time he's on screen, the music goes somber, and Mary always looks like she's going to cry. He is very troubled. Even the way he spoke in that scene was so strange, and his eyes and everything. Also, at the end of the episode, they flashed up the number for Lifeline. I mean, it makes me feel so scared for her.
Yeah. Well, moving on to the epic fight at Utah socialite Amy Steele's house.
The only socialite in town, according to the ladies.
I've never heard of this person, but apparently she's Mormon royalty.
Right.
And Lisa arrives at the party, and she's already furious. She's already, fired up. It is her first group event since resolving her contract dispute with Bravo. And she immediately goes for Angie after hearing, courtesy of Blabbermouth Brittany, that Angie compared her to Jen Shaw.
So was the contract dispute about money?
I'm sure she was asking for more money.
Why does Lisa Barlow even need more money? She's got more money than God. Anyway, before it can escalate, Bronwyn bizarrely inserts herself, which then sets Lisa off, calling her loitering. Well, she was invited to the party as well, Lisa.
Well, I would say, just going back to Lisa and her money problems, she allegedly defaulted on a $400,000 loan. So it sounds like she needs money.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's.
I think she's still rich.
That's what the lawsuit's about.
She's still rich, people.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I want to know why Bronwyn puts herself in the firing line. Does she have a death wish? So the fight gets into rumors about a mystery man paying Lisa's Amex bills. And in the heat of it all, Lisa hurls one of the most bizarre housewife insults ever, accusing Bronwyn of sucking gout dick. Yes, gout dick. And Dr. Google confirms that this condition does exist.
Okay.
It is rare, but it is real.
Hold up. You can get gout down there.
Apparently, I mean, it sounds quite painful. And,
oh, yeah. Gout's so painful.
Well,
I don't have it, by the way, FYI.
Well, I loved Whitney's confessional saying, I thought gout was in the feet. This is an iconic Housewives moment.
Yeah, and I was confused with Whitney too.
Yes.
I mean, Housewives has educated me now in the worst way possible. And speaking of Jen Shah, Andy Cohen was just asked by an audience member on Watch What Happens Live if Jen or Monica are ever coming back to the show. He didn't mention Monica, but he did say, I never want to see Jen Shah again. However, you just can't keep Jen Shah down. Her team fired back with a statement. A respectable conversation's already been had with Bravo behind the scenes, and there are no hard feelings, with a photo of Jen blowing a kiss. I think Bravo should not bring her back post-release. I think the backlash would be huge and insulting to her victims.
Well, I think Bravo would have her back in a second. It would be her redemption arc.
So, all right, if they've already had that meeting, do you think it was floated to her and she said no?
She would never say no.
So, but is it now Andy trying to say it was him that doesn't want her?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I just know that Americans love a comeback story. But the thing is, I don't know how well she would mesh with the cast now after everything that's happened. But I think it would be interesting to see how it plays out.
I mean, they would be hating on her, I'm sure. I mean, Heather was already saying in the first episode something disparaging about her.
Yeah.
I mean, they did have Teresa Giudice back on New Jersey after she went to jail for business fraud. But that was 2016, and the world, I think, is more different, a lot more different 9 years on, right? And I also think Jen's crime of fleecing old people out of money, that's too extreme for Bravo. I mean, they probably thought Karen Huger from Potomac, because she's maybe coming back after a DUI conviction, and Teresa's crimes were more acceptable. I reckon you will see Jen pop up somewhere, though, maybe a filmed podcast. They all get their own podcast, don't they?
That's true.
A Netflix crime doco series, or maybe a fluffy rebranding show with Coach, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know. I just think you're going to see more of Jen Shah.
Me too.
So Rose and Thorn time, and taking a quick break from Housewives with my Rose, Secrets of Celebrity Sex Tapes, which unfortunately is only on Foxtel here, which is such a tragedy because it is so good. I could totally see this going off on Netflix. The first episode dives into Rob Lowe's 1988 scandal when a tape he sets up in a threesome with an underage girl. One of them was underage. It happened in Atlanta while he was there for the Democratic National Convention, because he's into politics,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yes, because he was on the West Wing. So I am so devastated that I couldn't relive Rob Lowe's sex tape scandal. I have 10 streamers, but I don't have Foxtel,
Yeah,
of course.
I'm the only one. The footage was stolen by one of these girls and leaked, but the fallout barely dented his career, which is so often the case with men. Right, when these things come out, they're always the ones unscathed. Another episode is about Colin Farrell's sex tape, which I forgot about, and that has not damaged his career either. And then Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's story is in episode 2. However, that's a bit different in their case.
So a lot of us watched the Pam and Tommy miniseries a few years ago that revealed the story behind their private honeymoon video that was stolen from a safe in their house by a creepy tradie working at their home. And Pam spent years in court trying to stop it being distributed. And I remember watching their sex tape.
You've seen it?
Yeah, like everyone was watching it. Most of the footage just showed the couple, being affectionate. They're on a boat in a lake. There were only a few minutes of explicit stuff. And I actually feel really bad for watching it now that I know it was so traumatic for her.
Yeah, because she then spent about 2 years in court trying to get it taken down or something. The series also covers Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. Paris's tape was released without her consent by her ex-boyfriend Rick Salomon. But Kim's 2007 tape with Ray J, which was called Kim Kardashian Superstar, was more calculated. So Kim sued Vivid for invasion of privacy before it was even released. But she then later settled, reportedly receiving millions, which then allowed the film's release. So basically, I think that means it was all just a deal that they set up to make her look like the innocent party. And you see this sex tape broker, Kevin Blatt, revealing that Ray J shopped it around. And then he says that's when Kris Jenner stepped in like, oh, well, if you're going to do this, you got better do it properly. And that's what ultimately helped secure the distribution. Like, I totally believe Kris Jenner stepped in.
Yeah. Plus, it was just all perfect timing as it coincided with the launch of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I think Paris and Kim made it acceptable for explicit content to make you famous or infamous. I blame them for Bonnie Blue and OnlyFans.
And also there was a compliance code on the film which actually proves that Kim did sign off on it. And side note, it was wild seeing all this old footage of Kim when she was just Paris's assistant, and she was actually her driver.
Yeah.
For a lot of the time, you never see Kim Kardashian driving.
Yeah,
but she drove Paris around. It was pretty funny, actually.
Exactly. So, well, we did say it was only a very quick break from Housewives because my rose this week is for The Real Housewives of London. They are tackling something almost taboo in Housewives land: perimenopause.
I am so relieved that for once someone on one of these Housewives shows is actually talking about perimenopause. Hats off to Panthea Parker from The Real Housewives of London for daring to speak up on this and seeing a doctor. This is something that has always had me stumped because it is never really mentioned on any of these Housewives shows.
Yeah, so we see Panthea visiting a doctor with her mother who doesn't believe in perimenopause. And Panthea tells the doctor she isn't sleeping, she's cranky, she has anxiety, she stopped getting her period, she isn't feeling like herself. She's 50. I can tell you, I'm not a doctor, but of course she's in perimenopause. Why didn't this doctor immediately order blood tests to investigate? If this guy is an expert in perimenopause, women are in big trouble.
Because perimenopause is such a confusing time, and it would be great if this was an ongoing storyline in London. I'm sure viewers would relate, and good on Panthea for wanting to speak up about it.
Yeah. So the age group of, any Housewives cast members is, 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So many of them would be perimenopausal or actually menopausal.
So many. And you know what? I have seen articles with Dorit, Tamra, Lisa Rinna. They have all told journos about their hot flushes, not sleeping, all the symptoms. So if they can talk about it off camera, why can't they talk about it on screen? I mean, I've had the worst hot flushes. I'm sure they all do sometimes, especially sometimes when they're shooting scenes.
Yeah, like there have been so many people talking, writing books about perimenopause and normalizing it. You've got Naomi Watts, Alison Bray, Elle Macpherson, Shelley Horton.
So I think they feel it will age them if they talk about it, if they mention it, but that's just life.
Yeah.
I think viewers would actually appreciate knowing if they're struggling with it. I can see someone like Emily from the OC, she's 49, or Heather from Salt Lake, who's 50, dropping, I woke up drenched in sweat. I can see them talking about it.
Well, Emily did talk about testosterone cream.
Yeah.
I do think she needs to step away from the testosterone cream.
Oh, yes.
Because she's looking very bodybuildery in her confessionals. I'm just saying.
So is she taking it because of perimenopause?
Yeah, she said she wants to have sex with Shane.
But is it because of perimenopause?
Yeah,
that she's on?
hormones. It's a hormonal thing. And Gretchen was taking it with her. Remember they went and got the testosterone together?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she just hasn't mentioned the word perimenopause.
Yeah, or hormones.
I think they want people, I think most housewives want people to think that they stop aging around 39.
Yeah, exactly. I do have to say, I also really like Juliet Angus. I really like the conversation she had with her husband, Gregor. And as an expat, I think it's interesting to see how people manage living in another country and raising their children and just how she balances being American and English.
Yeah, but why do her kids both have American accents when they live in the UK? Born and raised, that's so odd.
Well, the son did say he had two different accents, depending on what group of friends he was hanging out with.
That's even more odd.
Yeah.
2 accents.
And I do have to also mention that I have really gone off Amanda. I think she was really hurt by the mutual friend she had with Juliet, but she's taking it all out on Juliet, because they fell out. So who is this mysterious bisexual woman who had this fiery, passionate love-hate relationship with Amanda? And I also think it was really rude of her to tell Juliet Mayhew at the pub that she was a terrible hostess at the picnic.
I have to hand it to Juliet Angus. Girlfriend knows how to keep the fires burning. So back in 2014, when she was on Ladies of London, she was already tight with Carolyn Stanbury and that whole Bravo circle. So when she joined Real Housewives of London, I assumed it was just Bravo recycling a familiar face. But over the next 11 years, Juliet actually built real friendships with this new cast, including ex-bestie Amanda. I mean, that's pretty fortuitous, right?
Yeah. And
talk about being twice in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And the fact that she actually moved in right next door to Juliet Mayhew.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, so I also laughed when Karen told her husband Jeremy Loderick Peace that Panthea was obsessed with her and had Googled to see how much Karen and Jeremy are worth.
Well, I Googled as well when she said that.
Yeah.
I copied her. And I was shocked to see Jeremy, who is the former chairman of Professional Football League West Brom, has an estimated worth of $360 million. Like what? That's like a small country's net worth.
Yeah.
Like literally. So they own 5 homes, including 2 in London, plus a private jet, a PJ. Oh, God. Good for Karen.
Yeah,
Good on
go Karen.
Anyway, I'm a bit late to the party with this next one because it is Rose and Thorn time. But I finally got around to watching With Love, Megan. And I'm giving it a thorn because why did Megan invite Chrissy Teigen onto episode 2 when they're not close? And Chrissy is the world's most unpopular celebrity.
I think this just shows once again that Megan has zero self-awareness. Chrissy is so divisive and she's faced a huge backlash for her bullying in 2021. The same thing that Megan has been accused of.
Yeah, I know. So the series is meant to feature influential foodie lifestyle figures alongside Megan's real friends. I assumed they were friends because they had those no deal or no deal days as those models, right? But seconds before Chrissy's entrance, Megan says, I haven't seen Chrissy in 20 years. Like, what? And it is obvious that they barely know each other. Did you get that feeling as well?
Totally. So I had just watched Chrissy on Deal or No Deal Island, where David won all of the money, you know, the biggest prize.
David Gannett from Survivor.
David Gannett, yes. So she played the banker, and I thought their whole interaction seemed really awkward. They didn't seem like friends at all. And they only talked like a couple of minutes about their time on Deal or No Deal together.
I know. And you know what else was strange? Megan never asked Chrissy much about food. Did you notice that as well? Even though Chrissy is a successful cookbook author with a major food business. And she actually had a viral recipe in 2017. It's called Chrissy's Ultimate Banana Bread. That became one of the most searched recipes of all time. And also, here's the other thing. The episode was about bread.
Yeah.
It was Megan making sourdough. It was even titled It's Way Past Our Bread Time. Oh, my God, how cringe. And yes, I know banana bread is more cake than bread, but it would have been cute to mention. And instead, Megan just made Chrissy great cheese.
I think she didn't want to be overshadowed. But I actually refuse to believe these women even eat bread, no carbs, no ricotta cheese, no whole milk. Chrissy said she likes to spend 4 hours cooking dinner. I want to rename this show Unrelatable Rich Women Who Have Too Much Time on Their Hands.
Also, Netflix didn't help. While the other guests are billed as chefs or designers in the show notes, because I looked it up on Netflix, Chrissy is simply labelled a fellow mum.
Wow, downgrade.
Ouch. Later, the two make those resin necklaces with those tiny flowers Megan loves so much. I can't see Megan ever wearing resin jewelry. She's all about the diamond stud earrings. So I just don't get why Megan would even have Chrissy on when she has a history of saying such awful things on social media. You know, remember when she called Courtney Stodden, who was a teen actress, to take a dirt nap?
Shocking.
And then she called Farrah Abram a whore. She mocked Lindsay Lohan self-harming. And she even insulted Oscar-winning child actress Quavenzano Wallace. Does Megan not know about this stuff? Does she not Google?
It doesn't make any sense at all. So I think this show is the definition of there's no such thing as bad publicity. As long as people are talking, you know, about the show, it's considered a win for Love Megan and Netflix.
Oh, okay. Also, Chrissy said a few years ago she got sober because she was sick of acting like an a-hole. But I saw a post that she did and she recently admitted that she's drinking again. I mean, Chrissy Teigen on the drink is not a good thing. Someone should throw her phone away at least so she can't have access to her Instagram.
I think it's a slippery slope, but I have issues with the entire concept of this show. Megan is filming in this house down the road from her Montecito mansion, and she says, we have this beautiful garden that we planted out here. So I'm like, wait, are we now at her real house? Is this her real house and her real garden?
Lies. Surely not. I think she's lying. I think she's still the stunt house.
Well, I do have one nice thing to say about this whole thing. I did love her rescue dog, Guy, because he reminded me of my golden oldie that I rescued. He was a little Jack Russell Terrier. Ironically, named Prince Harry. But,
what a coincidence.
Well, I want to say I got him before Meghan Markle was on the scene. So I was first. And sadly, Guy died in January of this year.
Because Prince Harry was always your
yes.
hall pass, right?
Yes, for sure. Every time we went to the UK. Yes.
Of all people, Prince Harry. I can kind of see it. Anyway, for what it's worth, I have baked plenty of banana bread in my day, and I was skeptical about Chrissy's secret ingredient, which is dried vanilla pudding mix.
Right.
So you add that to the batter. But I tried it, and I hate to admit it, it's actually pretty delicious.
Interesting.
Thanks, Chrissy.
And finally, rounding out the show with another rose for some juicy casting rumors floating around. I love cast shakeup speculation.
Oh, I do too.
So Bravo and Cocktails is spilling some tea regarding Miami. So as of right now, Alexia, Larsa, Lisa, Stephanie, and Marisol are essentially locked in for next season. So the other cast members, who are Gertie, Julia, Adriana, and Kiki, are considered on the bubble, which means their contracts haven't been finalized and producers are still deciding whether or not to keep them. So as we mentioned with this reunion bombshell, maybe we'll hear Julia's leaving, but it looks like she might not be the only one.
So maybe it's Adriana who doesn't come back.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wonder if they'd also bring back Dr. Nicole.
I love Dr. Nicole, and she's incredibly popular with fans.
And I was also thinking maybe the new additions might be Robbie Williams' wife, Ida Field, because she bought Nicole's old Miami house. And I've also heard Teresa Judo might go down there and join as well. Teresa would be hilarious, I reckon, as an addition.
Well, I heard another crazy rumor. There could possibly be an Australian joining the Miami Housewives. Rapper Iggy Azalea.
What?
She's been interviewed several times by producers about joining season 8.
Iggy. I think
Yes.
I think her real name's Amethyst. Amethyst from Mullumbimby. I think she's too rapper for them. I've heard
know.
interviews. She talks like a rapper normally.
I know. I
Does
thought
that fly with the ladies?
I did think it was odd. So nothing's confirmed. She has been on their radar for a while. And also, Roni is apparently coming together. Erin, Sai, and Jessel are the only cast members confirmed to be returning.
I mean, that is so wah-wah to hear. These 3 ladies are almost unwatchable.
I have to say it was pretty underwhelming. And one story said Jen is confirmed, and the other said she's a maybe.
See, I didn't mind Jen as a person, but I don't think she added anything to the show, so I could actually live without her personally.
Well, the other rumors that I found interesting were there's this woman called Nicole Daisy Toy, who's Martha Stewart's makeup artist, and the fabulous Julia Fox, who I love, plus some other people I don't know, but those were the interesting ones.
Crazy Julia Fox?
Yes.
Kanye's ex? Stop it. She would be funny. I just want them to do a New York legacy show with
Yeah.
Ramona, Luann, Sonia. They've talked about this for years now. The fans want it. So what's the hold up?
Well, they did try and make it a couple of years ago, but they were just asking for too much money and the whole thing just fell
money
over.
again.
Yes, but there's also confirmation that Bravo's producing a Summer House spinoff with Kyle Cook, Amanda Batula, Lindsay Hubbard, and Andrea Denver. It's called In the City. And for those who don't know Andrea, he is super hot. He's an Italian model. And he had a fling with Paige on Winter House.
Yeah, when you mentioned this to me, I looked him up and oh my God, he is very hot.
I thought they
Very
made
hot.
a great couple. They were so good together.
Yeah.
But I seem to remember he was just an F-boy in the end. But he did end up marrying a model named Lexi.
Oh, he's married now?
Yes, he got
Do
married.
we like it when there's married couples on it or singles on it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess
don't
if they're
know.
married, they always fight. So that's a
Yeah.
good, that's a
So-
good thing in their favor.
Well, there's going to be another Lexi on the show.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm not really interested in any of those people. I want to see my girls Paige and Ciara. Hopefully, they will at least appear as friends of.
So if you never see Paige again on Summer House popping up, you don't even want to watch this show anymore.
Probably not. I don't think it's that interesting
Without her?
Yeah.
Oh, God, you are obsessed. I can see Paige maybe doing her own This Is My Life type of show. The way that the Kardashians, that's basically what the Kardashians is these days. It's just following them around from business to business, like
Yeah.
Skims and The Good American. I actually find that kind of interesting to watch, like seeing how it all
Me too.
works. So I would watch one on Paige. I would.
Yes. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. I'm Shelley Seddon.
And I'm Fleur Michelle.
Join us next week for So Many Receipts.